third country, but there are 3 African countries from the region which are basically involved in this. So this is again another example of how South-South cooperation is working. Secondly, this whole talk about reconciliation that you're talking of in terms of South Africa, but I'm not really sure that it's really working even now. In terms of South Africa, it is, but there are South Africa has several individuals which are working on a counter purpose. So you have mercenaries which have cases of mercenaries being involved in, the conflict in settled African Republic, mercenaries of South African origin. So how do you deal with situations like that? Of course, the South African government has brought about a new model of reconciliation and conflict resolution, but how can it control the private citizens within its borders and their dealings with it? Second important aspect is about the whole issue of the fact that US is the largest exporter of arms, and how can you promote South-South cooperation in peace and conflict management if US is not on board, which is true. In fact, US is the largest arms manufacturer. Its whole economy is based on manufacturing. So obviously there has to be some kind of mechanism among the southern countries in the global south to deal with these countries which are involved in promoting armaments, whether it is US or whether it is countries within Europe or China, which talks about building security in Africa, but also is one of the largest supplier of small arms to the African continent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we need to rush up a little bit because in 2 minutes the next meeting will take place downstairs. So Mr. Deepak, please. No? Okay, thank you. And then we have the Carlos.
Just very quickly regarding what gentleman from South Africa said, reminds me of a very interesting article from Lutwak called "Give War a Chance." It's very interesting. I recommend reading. Thank you.
Okay, well, reflect on that one. And now, Mr. Dennis, you have the final word.
Thank you very much. There was mention of mechanisms in the United Nations system, including organs of the United Nations like the Security Council. I think these have existed, and what we're trying to say today is that the member states in the South can build upon the mechanisms that exist to promote peace and conflict prevention. And in this regard, I wanted to give a quick example of a number of fragile states that have been working to promote peace. They're called fragile to fragile states. And the idea is that they share experiences in terms of preventing conflicts from breaking out. And I think this is an example of what we're trying to say. As you say, the mechanisms are there. There are big countries exporting weapons and so on. But what can the South of tomorrow help in terms of bringing about peace? And I think the answer lies with the countries of the South. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And please join me in giving a hand to the panelists for a great session. And thanks to all those that put up the questions and that listened and shared the session with us. Thank you.
Safeguards.